Hello everybody, you're watching CAD Roll Hunter, and I've got something I haven't had on the channel before, and that is a box of Canadian Loonies, $1 coins, 40 rolls, $1,000 for us to hunt. Hello everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel CAD Roll Hunter. We have Canadian Loonies, Canadian $1 coins here. I've never been able to get my hands on a full box of these. I've never actually done a Loonie hunt on my channel before, so this is a first for me. So this is pretty exciting. We've got 40 rolls of customer wrapped Loonies. Anything goes. Interestingly, Loonies are maybe the one denomination that we might prefer to have bank wrapped rolls. There is no alloy recovery program taking Loonies out of circulation like we have taking silver out of our dimes and quarters. And one of the things we're looking for, of course, are colorized Loonies. We have those too. We want to find anything that might be not intended for circulation. There are proof and specimen Loonies that we might find in here. There are even silver Loonies that have been struck that wouldn't be in normal circulation. Obviously not at the face dollar value or face value of $1. But they could be in here and we want to find them. So let's get into these and see what we might find. So here is a look at the edges of this first roll of Loonies. The Loonie was introduced in 1987. It's called the Loonie because it features a common loon. And so there is a view of a really shiny 2021. So we might find some of those. You can see some darker edges. When the Loonie was introduced, it was bronze-plated nickel. The newer ones are brass-plated steel. That's cheaper to produce, of course. So we're going to find some patina and dark toning, just the way that you would expect that pennies will lose their luster over time and become sort of brown. We'll see a very similar thing here on the Loonie. You can see here's an older one where the coloring is much different than the new one. So you can see circulated on the left and virtually uncirculated on the right. What we're hoping to find in here, of course, are some of those colorized ones. We might see those. So any of these shiny ones, there's a potential we might get the new Klondike Loonie that I don't have yet in my collection. I haven't been hunting Loonies, so I'm hopeful that I get some of those. So let's get in and see what we got. So right away, we've got a newer design Loonie. This was a fairly worn and circulated one. But one of the new security features that were placed on these in 2012 is that maple leaf you can see in the middle of the coin. It's actually etched in with lasers and would be really hard to forge. And if I flip it over, you can see this is a 2012, and that's when that was actually introduced. There are versions of the 2012 Loonie that don't feature that security stamp, and we're going to be looking for that because they're far less common and more valuable. So that would be a good find in this hunt for sure. We're still in that first roll, and we've got here a 1994, and this one is featuring the National War Memorial in Ottawa. This is one of the first commemoratives that came out in the Loonie. That's an interesting one. This one's pretty circulated. It doesn't have a lot of value in this condition. Well, it has a value of exactly $1, so we'd want to find one in better condition. But this is minted at about 15 million. So we're still in that first roll, and we got a great one here. This is a 2005 commemorative featuring Terry Fox, who famously set out to run across Canada in support of cancer research. And he unfortunately wasn't able to make his full journey across the country, but he has been etched in the minds of Canadians. He is a Canadian icon for sure. Sadly, he passed away before he could finish that journey. But every year, people across Canada raise funds for cancer research in the Terry Fox Run. So that's something that he has left us. This coin here actually features a couple of varieties, interestingly, we can look for. So I'll put it under the scope. You can see the grass in the background. There is a full grass version and a no grass version, and there's maybe a version in between. I'll put it up on the scope and we can take a look. Okay, what we're looking for here is actually the definition of the grass here in this area in front of Terry Fox's leg. What we have here is the no grass variety. Now you can still see some of it there, but if I pull up, I have a a regular version from my own collection where we can see the difference. Here is the regular version, and you can see that all of the grass is fully defined across here. So that's the difference between what we have here, what we've just found. This one is missing some of that detail. So this is the no grass or partial grass variety. That's the less common one. It would be worth more if it was in a really nice condition. So that's a cool one to find. Still in the same roll, we found a 2012 Lucky Loonie. It's a bit of a different view of the loon. You can see the Canadian Olympic emblem or logo on the left. There's a bit of a story about this, and that was around Canadian officials burying a loonie in the ice in one of the Winter Olympic Games, which supposedly led to us winning a gold medal in ice hockey. Not sure if that's completely true, and I'm not a whole lot certain, or not very certain that's actually why we might have won the gold medal, but it's part of Canadian Olympic lore now, and we've got loonies to prove it. Roll number 2, we're going to have an early loonie. We can see we've got that tiara portrait of Queen Elizabeth. This was only used for 87, 88, and 89, so we'll flip it over, and it's a first year 1987. Just right behind that, we're going to have another commemorative. We can see that because the obverse is different. And this is a 2016 commemorative celebrating 100 years of the women's right to vote in Canada. Roll number 3, we got a 1988, a really early loonie in uncharacteristically good shape. It's still got lots of its original color on here. That's a nice one. Roll number 4, we're going to have a couple things here. First of all is a 2017 commemorative featuring the city of Toronto. And right behind it is my first 2022, I think, of any denomination. So that is really, really cool. Same roll. Here's another great find. This is a 2006. This is a loon in flight. Again, another Olympic coin here. This one is actually in really lovely shape, if I don't ruin it. And there's the queen there. I can see a little bit of a fingerprint, but that's still nice and shiny. And last coin of that roll, another Lucky Loonie from 2012. Roll 5, we've got a Vancouver 2010 commemorative here. This is from 2010. This is minted at just over 10 million. Roll number 7, and what's more Canadian than hockey? Here is a commemorative 100 years of the Toronto Maple Leafs, one of my favorites. It's got some gunk on it. It's not in the best of shape, but I'm going to pull that aside. That's a really cool coin. I'm not even sure if I have this one. Same roll, also in pretty rough shape, but one of my favorites. This was a group of people gathered in front of the Canadian Parliament buildings in Ottawa, waving a Canadian flag. I always loved that design on the loonie from 1992. This was Canada 125. Roll number 8, we've got a first year, 1987. It's in really good condition, but it's got some strange discoloration on it. So I don't know if this was maybe in somebody's collection in a book or in a roll or what the situation is. It's in better condition than normal for sure, but it's definitely been affected by something. Roll number 11, a really nice one here. This one is a 2008. It's called Loon Dance. And this one minted just at about 10.8 million. Roll 11, and we found a really nice one here. This is a 2010 commemorative, 100 years of the Royal Canadian Navy. Roll number 12, and we have found one of the coins that I've been looking for, and that is this 2021 Klondike. This is the non-color version. This is minted at just 1 million. There's a colorized version. You'll see there's a little moose on the left by my thumb. That is red on the colorized version. The colorized version is minted at 2 million. This is a great find. I haven't been able to find this one yet, so maybe we'll get some others. There's also a 2020 colorized commemorative of the UN I haven't found also. I'm in roll 13, and I'm finding some just absolutely gorgeous 2021s in here. So I'm really hoping we might find some of those commemoratives in this kind of condition. Just brilliant. Roll 17, we got a really nice 2007. Anything that looks this good, I'm going to pull aside, compare it against my own collection. I wasn't really collecting loonies. I haven't been hunting loonies, so I don't have very many that are in great condition. When I was younger, I was collecting actively when I was in high school, so I got some of the earliest ones. And then for a lot of years, I was spending them as I needed to. So anything that looks this nice in these years might be worth keeping for me. Still in the same roll, and we got another really cool commemorative. This is the 2019. It's called Equality. This is recognizing the 50th anniversary of the decriminalization of homosexuality in Canada. Roll number 18, we're finding all sorts of great stuff that I don't have. First of all, this 2010 Saskatchewan Roughriders. That's another thing that is very Canadian, is Canadian Football League, CFL football. And in the same roll behind it, I can see that we've got an American. And I don't have any of these American dollars. So let's see what we got. We got $1. And I'd have to probably look and see what the year is on the rim. And it's a George Washington presidential dollar. Really cool. I don't have this. I'll have to look and see a little more closely if I can get it to focus what the year is. But in any case, that is a really cool find. We got an American $1 coin in our Canadian $1 coin hunt. Okay, I took a closer look and I discovered this is a 2007 out of Philadelphia. Very exceptionally cool. Roll number 20, I'm bringing you in. I have found a 2010 here. It's pretty beat up. It's nothing special necessarily, but there is a variety we can look for. There's a small bead and a large bead on the obverse, and we'll put it under the scope and take a peek. All right, here it is. What you want to look for is where this A is pointing, and if you've got the large bead, the A is going to point directly to a large bead. It will be right there. These beads actually look pretty large based on what I've seen in the past, but definitely all the markers show this being the small bead variety where the A is pointing between two small beads. If I find another 2010, we'll take a peek together and see if we've found the other version. Roll number 28, and we're going to have another commemorative. We can see that because it doesn't have the date at the bottom of the obverse like most of the newer ones do. We'll see what we've got. And it is another 2021 Klondike. That's pretty awesome. I can see right behind that we have another one of these Terry Fox ones, and we can actually check to see what the detail is like in the grass on this one. Okay, we can see we've got a lot more grass detail throughout this area here. So this might be the full grass. I think this might also be part of an over-polished dye issue. And so this grass might have become less defined over time as this dye was being used. So it's probably not that there's just a full grass and no grass. There's probably any level in between. Roll number 30, we've got our first 2004 commemorative with the Olympic Flames. Roll 33, and we got another really cool one. This is a 2011 commemorative for Parks Canada. You love that. I love that design. The water and the fish. There's a beaver. There's some moose or deer or something. Hiker. The sun. It looks really, really cool. Roll 46, and we found one that's pretty hard to come by. This one is the 2002. You'll see there's no date on the reverse, just like we find in other denominations. And on the obverse, the 1952 to 2002, so the Queen's Golden Jubilee, 50 years on the throne. This one is minted at just 2.3 million. And to put that in perspective, the 1987, which we've found a lot of so far here, is minted at over 200 million. One more roll, roll 50, last chance to find something cool. Roll 50 is going to give us a much nicer example of this 1992. Just got a little bit of something on the top there, but you can see a much better version of this coin than the one we found earlier with the Parliament buildings. All right, well, that's 40 rolls, $1,000 in Canadian Loonies that we have hunted. And we found all sorts of great coins for me to go through. I've pulled out all of the best, as you saw. And I'm going to look through these and see if any of these will upgrade my own collection or fill any holes. I haven't been hunting loonies, so some of these I'm probably going to need, like definitely this 2010 Saskatchewan Roughriders. That's one I know for sure I don't have. And some other ones I think I don't have are the 2022s over here, right here. And these Klondike, these are good ones here. So those are good additions to my collection. And wouldn't it be awesome if that was just a stack of pure gold? Which it's not, but that would be really cool. In any case, I hope you have enjoyed this Loonie hunt. If you have, please give the video a like. Please subscribe to my channel, Cadroll Hunter, if you haven't already done so. You need to be subscribed if you want to enter the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. You'll find the link in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.